After the intense training between Goku and Bardock in the hyperbolic time chamber, they had finally reached unimaginable levels, especially for Bardock, who never expected to achieve all those Super Saiyan transformations. Both warriors had explored and mastered each of their transformations, pushing them to the limit, so the time had finally come for a showdown in their Super Saiyan Blue forms. Bardock, with his radiant blue aura, looked at his son with determination. "Kakarot, this will be our most intense battle. Show me the power of this blue form," Bardock said, assuming a fighting stance. Goku, also transformed into Super Saiyan Blue, smiled with excitement. "Of course, father. Let's give it everything we've got," he responded, preparing for the battle. After those final words, the fight began with an explosion of speed and power as both Saiyans launched themselves at each other to deliver the first strike. It was clear that they were moving so fast that they were barely visible or perceptible. The blows echoed like thunder, and energy explosions illuminated the time chamber. Everything seemed evenly matched in this brief opening, as they managed to dodge and block each other's strikes. "You're incredibly fast, father!" Goku exclaimed as he dodged an attack. "And you're incredibly strong, Kakarot!" Bardock responded, blocking a blow with his arm. The intensity of the battle was impressive, as both Saiyans exchanged attacks with extraordinary precision and speed. Every move and technique was executed flawlessly, showcasing the incredible skill and experience of both warriors. In one of those exchanges of blows, the impact made both of them step back, creating some distance between them. But instead of wasting time, they quickly charged their energy attacks and launched them instantly. "Kamehameha!" Goku shouted, unleashing his powerful energy attack. "Final Spirit Cannon!" Bardock quickly responded, doing the same to counter his son's attack. Both techniques shot through the air at high speed, flashing mid-air and creating a massive explosion that shook the entire chamber. The force of the blast pushed both warriors back, but they stood their ground, watching to see whose attack would prevail. "Don't hold back, Kakarot! Give me everything you've got!" Bardock exclaimed, increasing his power to enhance the strength of his energy attack. "All right, father, let's go all out!" Goku responded, pushing his energy to the max, making his Kamehameha grow in size. The ground trembled beneath their feet, and the air vibrated with the immense energy they were unleashing. After a few moments, both attacks gave way and exploded, causing a massive shockwave and generating a thick cloud of smoke. But once again, that didn't stop the two Saiyans, who teleported several times to close the gap between them, not planning on taking a single break in this father-son duel. When they clashed again, their blows echoed like thunder, and explosions lit up the vast white space of the time chamber. It was clear that both Saiyans were giving it their all, pushing their abilities to the limit. "You have so much potential, Kakarot! You never cease to amaze me!" Bardock exclaimed as he blocked one of the many blows Goku was throwing. "And you have an incredible fighting spirit! You're truly a warrior, father!" Goku responded as he continued to unleash a flurry of rapid punches while simultaneously blocking his father's attacks. The battle became even fiercer as the minutes passed, with their strikes so powerful that the ground beneath them cracked, and the energy explosions released bright flashes throughout the time chamber. Their speed had reached such heights that they were now impossible to perceive, both continuously growing stronger and learning more about themselves. It was evident that Goku had a better mastery of the Super Saiyan Blue form, as his energy consumption was much lower than Bardock's, who had only recently learned to use this form without tiring. But he needed to take it to the next level if he wanted to progress. At a certain moment, both grabbed each other's fists, locking their punches in place, and it was clear that both were struggling to hold back the force of their attacks. Their arms trembled from the effort it took to contain each other's fists due to the immense strength and power they both possessed. "Just as I expected from you, son. You don't give in easily. I can say the same. You never back down from your opponent." After those brief comments, Goku unleashed more power than Bardock, causing him to release Goku's fists under the intense pressure of his energy. In that small moment of distraction, Goku took advantage and landed a powerful punch to Bardock's stomach, making him gasp from the force. But instead of backing off, Bardock gathered all the strength he could in one of his arms, clenched his fist, and returned the punch to Goku in the same spot. The impact made Goku tremble from the sheer power behind the blow. Despite this, Goku gave a slight smile, happy that the battle wasn't going to be easy. This is only getting more interesting. Bardock showed a bit more confidence in response to Goku's words, knowing that the rhythm of the fight was only improving. After this exchange, their strikes became so powerful that blocking them was incredibly difficult, resulting in both receiving several blows to their bodies. This gradually tore their outfits and left noticeable scratches on their faces. Their ability to adapt to the fight was remarkable, and it only grew with the advantages offered by the time chamber. Their fierce battles seemed to have no end, despite the exhaustion they were feeling from the intensity of the fight. Both continued for a long time until they were completely worn out, lying on the ground, severely injured. It was clear that both had succumbed to the exhaustion of the battle, so they decided to take a good rest to recover. While resting on the ground, Goku and Bardock took the opportunity to talk a little about how they felt after their fight. "You're a great warrior, Father. I've learned so much from you in this time we've spent together. Everything I've been told about you has been more than true," Goku said with admiration as he was still catching his breath. After a few minutes of rest, Goku gathered enough energy to sit up and looked at his father with a satisfied smile. "And you've shown me that you're a son worthy of a Saiyan, just as I expected from you, Kakarot." Bardock responded with pride as he also lifted himself slightly off the ground to sit up like his son. Due to his father's words, Goku stood up at that moment and approached Bardock, extending his hand to help him up. Bardock accepted the gesture, and as they stood, both Saiyans looked at each other with mutual respect. After that, they took full advantage of the time to let their bodies heal completely, which didn't take long since time worked differently in the chamber. Once they had recovered, they decided to resume training. "This place has allowed us to go beyond our limits, but there are still things I need to show you, Father." "That's true, and to be honest, I'm eager to see what else you've got to show me." Goku, with a serious but enthusiastic expression, said, "You'll see, there's a technique I've recently mastered. It goes beyond the Super Saiyan Blue transformation. It's called Ultra Instinct." At that moment, Bardock frowned at Goku's statement, intrigued by what he had just said. "Ultra Instinct? What kind of technique is that?" "It's a state that goes beyond mere power. It's not just brute strength, but a way to free the mind and body. Let's just say it allows you to move and react without thinking, as if your body moves on its own." "A state where the body acts purely on instinct?" Bardock asked, trying to grasp the magnitude of what his son was explaining. "Exactly! It's not easy to reach or maintain, but once you do, your power elevates to a completely new level. It's something that can't be taught in the traditional sense. You have to experience it yourself, feel it, and let your body understand it." Bardock nodded slowly, processing all the information Goku had shared. "Sounds like a challenge worthy of a Saiyan. I'm more than ready to learn it, Kakarot." Goku smiled enthusiastically, thrilled that his father accepted the challenge. "All right, let's begin. You need to clear your mind of any distractions. Don't think about your movements. Just feel the flow of the battle and let your body react on its own. Since it's pretty complex, I'll demonstrate it to you right here. I couldn't do it properly before." With those words, Goku adopted a defensive stance, inviting Bardock to attack him, to test his instincts. Bardock watched him carefully, and in an instant, he launched himself at his son with a series of rapid punches. But just as he did, Goku activated Ultra Instinct, his hair turning a silver hue. He effortlessly dodged Bardock's attacks, leaving Bardock stunned as he noticed a difference in Goku's movements. "Kakarot, you're not blocking my attacks. You're just evading them," Bardock said, perplexed by the fluidity of Goku's movements. "Exactly, Father. I'm not thinking about how to dodge. I'm just doing it because my body is reacting by instinct, without my mind intervening. That's Ultra Instinct." Goku responded as he continued to dodge Bardock's strikes with ease. Bardock stopped for a moment after launching several blows, now understanding a bit more about how it worked. "All right, Father, now try it yourself." In that moment, Bardock took a deep breath, closing his eyes for a second to focus. When he opened them again, he charged at Goku, trying to abandon his thoughts and let his body act on its own. Goku smiled as he sensed a change in Bardock's energy, realizing that his father was taking it seriously. "That's it, father. Don't rush it. Just feel the flow of the battle." As Goku said this, Bardock threw a punch aimed at Goku's face, but this time his strike was more fluid, less forced. Although Goku dodged it, he could feel the difference in Bardock's technique. "Well done, father. You're starting to understand it." Goku praised Bardock while stepping back to give him space to continue. Bardock breathed deeply, absorbing the new sensation in his body, and charged again, this time without thinking about his next move, allowing his instincts to guide his attacks. His punches and kicks came with surprising speed and precision. Goku defended with the same fluidity, blocking some strikes and dodging others, but he could feel Bardock's progress with each exchange. However, despite Bardock beginning to grasp the concept of Ultra Instinct, his body soon started to tire from trying to access that state and mimic Goku's precise movements. Exhausted, Bardock nearly collapsed to the ground, his breathing heavy. "You did great, father. It's tough to maintain, but you're on the right path." "This state, it's unlike anything I've experienced before," Bardock commented, still catching his breath, realizing how his movements had been more natural and less premeditated compared to his usual fighting style. As you've seen, Ultra Instinct isn't just about power, it's about harmony between the mind and body. You don't have to force anything, just let everything flow. Goku explained, watching his father closely before stepping forward and offering his hand to help him stand. "But I'm sure you can learn it, just like I did. However, we'll need to push ourselves even harder. This is a state that not even the gods can master easily." Bardock grasped his son's hand and stood up, determination sparking in his eyes, fully embracing the challenge ahead. "Then I'll give it everything I've got to learn Ultra Instinct." With both Saiyans in agreement, they were ready to embark on a grueling and intense training regime, aimed at helping Bardock reach the elusive state of Ultra Instinct. Their bond as father and son grew stronger with each challenge they faced, and the road ahead promised even more intense battles as they worked together to break their limits.